Hello again. Still in California. This is my last day here. I wanted to share with you a little experience I had with some friends a couple of days ago. We went up to Paso Robles. It's a pretty long trip from here, but 250 miles each way. So that was a long day. We visited 4 properties. I had a great time, discovered new things again, which is really the best part of this. Talked to some interesting people, came back with some wine. Actually, there's more than this. And let's just discuss all of this together for a little bit. Sorry about the angle here, but I'm trying to show you some of the stuff. Anyway, we're going to start from left to right with a few pictorials just to kind of help. Early start, really 6 o'clock, which is very early for me if you guys know me. And then really beautiful day. So coffee first, of course. Then we stopped in Solvang with my friend Leon and Sosi to just get going for breakfast. But then we got to our first place around, I think, 11:30, and that was really, basically the beginning of the day for us after a long drive. It was a Hunt Cellars, and we didn't have a lot of time because it was before our next appointment, but these guys are well known for their ports. And the picture here is of a white port. This is made with Sauvignon Blanc, which is, very interesting. So, of course, we tasted that. They have a long list of ports. You see this here. You're not going to be able to read it, but that tells you the different kinds of ports they make it with Zinfandel, with Sauvignon Blanc, with Petite Sirah, Merlot, Syrah, some Portuguese grapes that they plant here as well, like Sao and Touriga Nacional. And so, that was very interesting. And I did get a few, the Sauvignon Blanc, of course, because you've got to have that. The Zinfandel was in old 2003, was just beautifully sweet and tasty, really just different. I mean, not different, but special from that point of view. The Petite Sirah was incredible because it was very creamy. It almost tasted like you were drinking some version of Irish cream in terms of the creaminess in the mouth. And so I decided to sample all these. After that, we went to L'Aventure. L'Aventure, if you recall, Hani made a video on that a little while ago. It's an interesting place. It's very sort of well invested in, let's say. They've used quite a bit of capital, you can tell. The winery is beautiful, the buildings are nice, this tasting room is just modern, and they make really high-end cuvées. The Frenchman who started this left Saint-Emilion, where he had been, I think it's a second-generation winemaker, because he just didn't want to keep following all these restrictions on blends. And so he came to the US, where he was told you could do whatever you want. He came to Paso Robles. He started buying land in the late 1990s, so 20 years ago about, and he started making different blends. He makes a lot of sort of Rhône blends, but also his flagship, the estate cuvée Hanny's drank in 2005, is really as Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and Petit Verdot. So it's really an interesting mix, even from that portfolio. He couldn't do that in Bordeaux. Anyway, we have here their list. So quite a few, again, cuvées, on the right. I apologize for the lighting in advance. They have a rosé, they have a GSM, Les Demoiselles, they have a sort of another GSM called Côte à Côte. The estate cuvée is at the bottom here. And so that's, as I discussed, the Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Petit Verdot. We tried all of these things. The way they do it is they really line up all of glasses at the same time, so you always know where you are, and you can go back and forth between the different glasses. What I really liked, the thing, and they also, we talked a little bit about their winemaking. They use these concrete cones, sort of upside down cones for co-fermentation. So you see the name of the cuvée on the cone, not the name of the grape. So this is Côte à Côte, this is estate. And they also experimented with amphora aging. He was, apparently the winemaker, the owner, was primarily inspired by Chateau Musard in Lebanon with their interesting assemblage, with the Cinsault, Carignan, and Cabernet Sauvignon. And he wanted to be able to make things like this, and that's kind of what started this. What I really liked their Mourvèdre, which was I know Hanny's going to find it funny, but so I ended up buying the Côte à Côte 2019, which has really the most amount of Mourvèdre, even though we tasted both the 18 and the 19, and they were really, really good, and a bottle of the Estate Cuvée. Now, one thing about these wines, we found that they were incredibly aromatic, very, very interesting, and just beautiful to sort of, you could sort of live in that nose if you want. And in the mouth, they're pretty good, but the sort of the finish just ended on a cliff. And I really think it's because of the age. They're too young. And I know, remembering what how Hanny described his tasting. Now, of course, we agreed on the nose. The nose was amazing, but I think I didn't get as much of it as Hanny did. But, we'll get back to this. I'll try to find some older cuvées and we can do it that way. You get nice packaging, beautiful box, the wine. You have some pictures here of the winery. You see it outside, and so it's something that we really enjoyed being part of. Now, this is the next picture here, and this is, let me just fix the so this is the next thing, was a Denner. Denner is something I'd heard about, but I didn't know at all. I mean, I never tasted their wines. We just wanted to check it out. I did buy a lot of wine. All I have here is the order form, but the wine itself, we bought so much that it's being delivered. And this is, we just liked everything. Again, it's a lot of Syrah blends. They have some of their own estate Syrah with a 100% Syrah. They have a Syrah blend from across the region, especially some little cooler climate Syrah near Cambria and further south, but on the ocean. So you get a cooler climate, you get more salinity. The things called the Dirt Worshipper, which has some Roussanne in it with the Syrah. So it's interesting, take on the Northern Rhône Syrah. They have a Cabernet Sauvignon that is very good too. They have a series that's called based on cloud names. Like this one in 2014, they did an Asperitas. Since then, they've done a Cirrus, and then they've done a Cumulus. Asperitas that we tasted was also 50% Mourvèdre, and that's going to be funny again. I really, really like that wine. So I got some of that. Anyway, everything we tasted was very good. Denner is highly recommended. The prices are, nothing's cheap, but the prices, I think, compared to L'Aventure and to Daou, which is going to come next, are really present, I think, a terrific, quality for the price, especially if you become a member or if you get some of these discounts. So that was very enjoyable. Next is Daou. Now, Daou is an interesting animal here. Here we go. These are the two bottles at the end that I bought. Daou is two Lebanese brothers that I've known from before. They built a tech company here in Southern California. They sold it 20 odd years ago. They made some money. They decided to get into the wine business, maybe just before, maybe at the same time. And they really purchased this historic property. I forget what it used to be called, the estate. And they refurbished it, put a lot of money into it, built in beautiful winery. And we're going to look at that here. And also developed, a lot of different wines. Now they really have an attention to detail in terms of the quality of the surroundings. So here you go. This is the entrance to the winery. Beautiful wrought iron, some of the old antiques, the door frame. This is the tasting room. It just looks, take my word for it, it's old wooden ceiling with the beams and the modern, bar. Just really, really beautiful. We also sat, I'm going to get back to this, sat outside. The views, you're at top of the hill. You've got amazing views of the surrounding. And this is where the vineyards are. This is the door. So it's an interesting, again, part of the sort of what the quality of the antiques and the furnishings they've used. Now, we tasted a lot of wine. We tasted some of their Pinot, a couple of Chardonnay, a couple of blends. My friend Leon is a member there, so we had the nice treatment, if you want. And the thing with these guys, I just have to say this: I do think, again, you look at these bottles; it's super heavy. The labels are just amazing, and we also learned about the difference in the labels between a label like this, with the straight line, so to speak, and a label like this, which is all the carvings and the roundedness and the bell here, and this is sort of an estate wine, and these are not, in terms of the label. So that's good to know. But anyway, I think overall the wines are good, but they're too expensive. So you get this feeling where, okay, I like this wine and I'll drink it, but okay, what else could I get for this price? So I just have to say it here. Although we enjoyed it, I think I got some nice bottles with good discounts, with my friend Leon. But at the same time, you get the feeling, and I think there's something that seems to be true all over Paso Robles, if I want to say that in closing, is, prices are high. And there's a lot of capital building some really nice properties. Prices are higher than what I found in Santa Ynez, Santa Rita. The wines over there were very good too, but it's more Syrah and Pinot. Here you've got a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon, and that's, I think, what gets you in the sort of premium pricing. But there are really some really good places. There was a lot of places that were closed because it was a Tuesday, and I think I'm going to have to go back there and check them out. But I was really tickled by these ports, the Denner discovery, going back to L'Aventure after what Hani had to say about it, and then visiting with Daou, whom I know from before, as I said. So all in all, a great day, and something we will repeat, I'm sure. Thanks for bearing with me on this long video, and see you soon.